According to new research, teens now prefer texting over talking in person. And other news, water is wet, puppies are adorable, and I could have been a male model. So why does this matter? Well, while most teens think that social media improves their lives, for those who have poor social well-being, it's actually the opposite. Part of this is due to the ease at which anonymous mobs can form and attack online. Because people tend to imitate each other in order to belong, social media is now a constant exercise of swarm and shame. When a large number of people do this simultaneously, it's mob behavior, a pack of hyenas screaming for a scalp. The strong can handle this, but the vulnerable, not so much. Spend 5 minutes on Twitter, you'll see it. So I'm all for texting, but by removing face-to-face contact and the vulnerability of eye contact, it's just easier to destroy each other. A generation becomes a mob of cruelty out to punish someone for their own sins. Think about Christ. The original crucifixion was meant to be the last one, the one to stop the mob. Then came the iPhone and Twitter. Now we crucify daily. So here's my advice for parents of teens, because I am the expert. At every chance, help them see the reality of their anger and the reality of a mob and why it's brave to egg on its failure. Destroying a life online is an act of craven self-scarring. And eventually, that's how the world will see you, as just another coward yelling, "Crucify him."
Wow, I can't believe this. This is too much. Amen, brother. I can't believe you and I are on the same page on this. But I think human interaction is being actually derailed by these systems.
I agree. And I think that's why it's like when you see something like the Deborah Messing thing, it's easier for her to go after a peer, basically, who agrees with her, because they're not like, you can't talk to certain people in a face-to-face way the way you do it here. You could destroy somebody.
Right. You also don't have context in any sort of digital communication, so it's difficult to tell if someone really is upset or if someone really is being sarcastic.
Right.
And if you take that the wrong way, it can ruin a friendship. I mean, both my daughters have devices where they are able to text, and there's a lot of parental control, don't get me wrong, but it's scary because you don't want your kids to be antisocial and dehumanized. And there's something very human about reading the signals on someone else's face.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how we evolved in order to read those subtleties and modify our behavior accordingly.
Yeah, but so human interaction then is, at a moment, it's almost like a fork in the road, because what it said in the polls is the kids prefer texting to human contact, but then when they're with each other, a high percentage say, well, my friends are distracted, they're paying attention to the phone, they're not talking to me.
Yeah.
So, but the human interaction, something different is going on.
Yeah, all I know is the only times I've had to apologize in my life recently is after emails or texts or tweets, because I get angry at something that I probably wouldn't have been angry if I had been eye contact or something. It's weird.
Right, because also, if you send an email that sounds mean, we don't know that you might have, if you had said it out loud, you probably would have laughed afterwards, because that's how you communicate.
That's why you put LOL, Dana.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
I'm hip to all this stuff.
My friend's daughter gave up social media for Lent, and then she loved the freedom that it gave her, and she never went back.
That's great.
And she was 15.
Wow.
It's here to stay. There's nothing we're going to do about technology and social media. It will continue to evolve. It's just really important as parents that you have to redirect your kids. You have to take them outside, and you have to constantly encourage them. But the nice thing about a phone for a 13-year-old is it is a great discipline device. And the second there's misbehavior,
take it away.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you beat them with the phone.
I'm not Naomi Campbell.
Oh, she does that?
Well, she did something with the phone.
I think what's going to happen is eventually you're going to get a generation of kids with hunchbacks.
Yeah.
They're going to be like this.
Posture.
And blind. They're going to be blind hunchbacks. And they're all going to be really jittery with no attention span. And they're not going to be married because they can't score at a bar.
Yeah, but the upside is, if they're blind and hunchback, they can just go to Notre Dame.
Okay, I'm leaving
that joke rings a bell.
Oh, nice. Well, should we end it there?
Yes.
We probably should.